Hey, what's going on everybody? It's DJ Sketch and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another review. Today we're going to take a look at a game that I was really late to the party on, especially considering it came out so soon after the smash hit remake of Resident Evil 2. On the menu today is Devil May Cry 5, the 6th installment, 5th mainline entry in the long-running Capcom franchise. In short, this game is the gas. I'll just go ahead and tell you up front. The hack and slash formula has still got it, and also running on the new RE engine, the game is looking real good in its old age, I have to tell you. This entry picks up 5 years after Devil May Cry 4 and follows 3 main protagonists, Nero, V, and Dante. Dante only being playable midway through the game, which at first I thought I was going to be a little more upset about, but after playing through DMC 5 with the other characters, I got more juiced up on the segments when Dante finally was available. And as the story progressed, it gets pretty good, I gotta admit. I wasn't expecting the Godfather or anything crazy with the narrative, but this one, honestly, it's not bad. It's in pretty true Devil May Cry form. And as the game opens up in its prologue and opening mission, you find yourself and other familiar faces from the franchise pitted against the ultra-powerful Urizen, who makes short work of you and your crew. Honestly, the opening cinematics are pretty interesting to watch. And the whole tale that pushes this narrative along is getting strong enough to eventually compete and defeat Urizen here. And the narrative pretty much carries through this little trope, I guess you could say, for about 18 to 25 hours, depending on your skill level. The abilities you have available amongst the 3 characters may leave you hard-pressed as to what to choose and for whom, but since the game's missions switch between characters, which honestly is a pretty cool way to go about it, often you can build up a pretty solid roster across the board, and by the time you get to the later half of the game, you're pretty much stomping shit. To be completely honest with you, the attacks get real cool, especially after level 10 and 11. As far as the story goes, there's a fair amount of twists, none of which are going to be spoiled here, but there are a couple pretty obvious ones that for those that have played a Devil May Cry game before, especially since the beginning, that you're probably going to pick up on almost immediately. And for others that may be new to the franchise, it can be brought up to speed with the game's history galleries, so they actually do a pretty fair amount to actually bring you up to where the story's at now. And the gameplay here is honestly probably one of the best hack and slash games I've played in quite a while. Even not playing a DMC game in the last couple years, except for the older ones, just kind of going back and refreshing myself with them. This one, honestly, you can pick it up about as easily as the older ones, but if you already have experience with the combo system and how things worked, you're going to have a pretty easy time actually getting on those A rank and S rank combos. So as long as you have some experience, you're gonna fall into this pretty swimmingly. But even if you're a newcomer to the franchise, it's honestly not too hard to pick up. It's not super easy to learn, but at the same time, you play around with it, you start to figure it out, and then you can really start having fun with it. This one was directed by Hideaki Itsuno, whose goal in making this was to have it be balanced for newcoming players and also veteran players as well. And this entry definitely hits the mark on that. Absolutely, it hits it dead on, basically. Pretty much anybody with any set of experience can appreciate this game as a whole. And as far as the story, like I said before, this is not The Godfather or even Goodfellas, but at the same time, it's fun, so just leave your brain at the door and just go for some big combos already. Don't get me wrong, the story isn't bad or anything, it really isn't, but also it kind of just works as a plot device just to keep things moving along. So I pretty much just wanted to just hack and slash and just enjoy all the bullets flying in this little pistol opera here. And you get a lot of guns to choose from, so guns are very plentiful, so you can make some pretty crazy builds across all 3 characters. You can have some fun and do some damage. And all in all, Devil May Cry 5 is definitely something fans of adventure and or hack and slash games need to take a little bit of a look into. This one has a good amount of things to do, and also between the various modes and difficulties, it has more than enough to keep players coming back time after time. So with this one, I'm going to give this one 8.5 out of 10. And also here's hoping there's going to be a Devil May Cry 6 somewhere down the line someday, because this entry, the 5th one, this actually was a pretty nice surprise. I didn't try the DMC blank, or the one that was kind of the spin-off game, but also I heard there were pretty good reasons not to. But eventually we're going to get to that anyway, because honestly I've just about played through all of these, and this is a nice addition, so I can definitely say if you're into the Devil May Cry series, pick this one up, because honestly it's really cheap now that it's been out for a year. And thank you again for checking out these videos. If these are helpful, that's awesome. I'm glad you can use this as a resource, and I will see you guys in the future. Take it easy.